Hey boys and girls, welcome to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, with the end of one grand colorful story to the start of another. I just have to say how great it is to finally get into Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, as it is a huge part of my childhood that I'd like for you guys to join me on, while I revisit a world I've longed to return to. But with every Pokemon adventure, it always comes with a sort of randomness that you don't really get from most other games, and sometimes that's one of the best parts, because you never know who or what you might end up with by the end of your adventure, and that's a wonderful fact. So, without wasting any time, let's jump right into a world of pure imagination, and begin our next journey of a lifetime. And with that being said, I'll see you guys after the intro of Pokemon Diamond, and I'll see you guys very, very soon, and we'll be starting our true adventure. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys right after the intro. Okay, and with our intro to our story now officially done and over with, let's officially get ourselves into the true meat and potatoes of the beginning of our game. So, with that being said, let's begin. Hello, it's very nice to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. Honestly, just very, very happy to finally get into this, because I'll be honest, I actually could have played this remake a long time ago on my own, but I've actually been able to hold off on doing that, which is kind of impressive for me, honestly, because, yeah, I could have easily played through Brilliant Diamond on my own already, and honestly, I've been literally just waiting to play it with you guys, so honestly, this will be my first time getting into the remake as well for myself, so honestly, I can't wait. So, honestly, let's get right into it. My name is Rowan. However, everyone just calls me Pokemon Professor. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. That is indeed true. That is very, very true. A good old Munchlax to start our adventure too. We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends. At times we play together, and at other times we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds with them. What do? I conduct research that we may learn more about Pokemon. Now why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Okay, that seems pretty easy. Although none of these guys would ever look like me, to be completely honest, because my hair color always changes quite a bit. I guess this would kind of be close to my current color of hair, but I'm gonna go with the natural, just normal version of the original character for this, to be honest. It is kind of, well, it is basically the what is everyone's so used to, honestly. Sorry for my controller there. Usually I don't have to press down the left stick that much, so I just had to be honest. That's just something that I haven't broke this controller in ever, and don't think I ever will have to, because honestly, I usually never have to worry about that kind of stuff. I don't know why I'm being weird about it. It's been a couple days. I'll be honest. I'm a little rusty because I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule, and honestly, sometimes I can mess with me a little bit. But let's do this. Your name is Spooks. Okay, so you're Spooks. A fine name, that is. Thanks, I guess. Now this boy over here, I believe he is your friend, right? What might his name be? Well, honestly, I'm just gonna go with your good old, original name for him. Good old Barry. Barry it is. That's your friend's name. Yep, it is. Alright, Spooks. The time has now come. Your very own tale of grand adventure is about to unfold. On your journey, you will meet countless Pokémon and people. I'm sure that along the way you will discover many things, perhaps even something about yourself. Now go on and leap into the world of Pokémon. Okay, leap right on in. Indeed, is what we're gonna be doing. With that being said, honestly... despite the exploration team's best efforts, the rare oddly colored Pokémon eluded detection. The rumored of Red Gyarados failed to appear, even fleetingly, to the Crestfallen team. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of the just rescue games in general for Pokemon Rescue Team games, but it obviously isn't because it's in the original as well. It's always what it kind of reminds me of, to be honest. Specifically, when it comes to Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. I don't know why. It always reminds me of that, though. That concludes our special report. Search for the Red Gyarados. Brought to you by Jubilife TV on Nationwide Net. Nationwide Net, you say? See you next week, and see you next time. Well, with that very ominous beginning to our story, never forget, always want to check your PC whenever you start any of these games. And it looks like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm usually used to seeing, free items inside those, but I guess I'm very well off of that one. Unless, actually, does it start you with a potion in this game? No, it doesn't. Okay, well, that's interesting. I'm so used to that being a thing in these games where you can just get a free potion just by checking the internet. But it looks like that's not the case here. Oh, Spooks. Barry came calling for you a little while ago. I don't know what it was about, but he said it was an emergency. Okay. Well, we'll go and find where Barry is. But first, let's check this out, just because I'm a little interested. Here we are. It's a contest digest. The star of the show in today's normal rank toughness contest is Dominic, who overwhelmed with his eerily vocal Pokemon. That's all the time we have today. Let's meet again. Okay, well, let's meet again indeed. Let's go find out where Barry went. Oh yes, Spooks. Don't go into the tall grass. The wild Pokemon might attack you. It would be okay if you had your own Pokemon, but you don't, so... Well, true there. True there indeed. But, let's be honest here. We'll definitely be getting to that very, very soon. There's no way around that. But, Twin Leaf Town, fresh and free. Fresh and free indeed. And looks like, yep, Barry's house. Might as well go see how he's doing. Oh, and there he is. Hey, bud. Long time no see. What was that about? Oh, hey, Spooks. I'm going to the lake. You should come too. And be quick about it. Okay, Spooks. I'm finding you 1 million Pokey if you're late. Okay. Well, see you later, Barry. Could just take me with you, but why do you really want to go to the lake, though? Oh, jeez. Forgot something. Wonder what he forgot. Well, since we are definitely into the way of breaking and entering every single game we play, let's go see how he's doing. And, hello. Hi, Spooks. Are you looking for Barry? He was gone for a second, but then he came running right back home. He just can't stay still, that boy. I wonder who he takes after. Good question. Well, let's go see what he's doing up here. Better take my bag. Guidebook too. Well, obviously you probably should. Oh, hey, Spooks. We're going to the lake. I'll be waiting on the road. It's 10 million fine if you're late. Okay then. Exciteful as ever. I'll definitely say that one. I wonder, can I use his? Oh, I can. That's interesting. Venture roll book number 1. X button opens menu. Venture roll number 2. Record your progress with save. There's nothing else on here. Okay. Well, it looks like you literally can't use the PCs to grab free potions anymore. Kinda interesting, isn't it? Huh. Wonder if that's gonna be something, because this is the game before, just in general when it comes to Pokemon games. This is the game that's gonna be coming out before Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is definitely what I'm planning on the next game to be. So I'm actually quite curious if that's gonna be something that continues, which would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? But it very might well be. I don't know, because honestly, the game's not out yet for me, and I'm very curious to see what we're going to be getting ourselves into when we eventually do get into it. Just because there is going to be a bunch of new things that are going to be a bunch of new mechanics that I won't be used to, because it really does look like we're really getting a open world Pokemon game, and not in the scale of Arceus, where it was open world to a point, but it was still kind of open world. This one actually looks like it's going to be full-on open world, and I don't know how that's going to actually work, but it looks pretty good from what I've seen so far. So, I really can't wait till we get into that, though. But, first things first is getting through the story first, and honestly, my full attention is going to be on this game first, obviously. So, let's do this. Hey, you saw the news report that was on the TV, right? You know, search for the Red Gyarados, the mysterious appearance of the first furious Pokemon in the lake. That show got me thinking, I'll bet our local lake has a Pokemon like that in it too. So, that's what we're gonna do. We'll go find a Pokemon like that. And if you guys are wondering, specifically, that Pokemon is the Red Gyarados from the Gold and Silver games, which is kind of interesting. Or even Crystal if you played the Suicune variant, but it definitely is something that is what that's definitely referencing, because it's the only Red Gyarados that I would think that would be, because it is a lake that you find it in, and it is a very specific, just appearance of a Pokemon that is based in the story, which is actually kind of interesting. But wonder why that was for that game, and they never have done that since, which is kind of weird. I think they have done like another Red Gyarados that you can find like that, but not to the point where it's like based in the story wise. Definitely interesting though. Alright, to the lake. Let's find us that Red Gyarados. Heavy doubt on that one, Barry, but we can definitely try. What's going on?
Oh, Professor, there isn't anything out of the ordinary on the other side either.
I may have been mistaken. Something appears to be different than it was before, but fine. It's enough that's what we have seen. It's enough that we have seen the lake. I don't know why I misread that, but Dawn, we're leaving. It's good old Rowan and good old Dawn.
Oh, Professor, how are you enjoying being back in Sinnoh after being away for 4 years? Oh, it must be exciting. It must be exciting again, right?
There is one thing I can say. There are many rare kinds of Pokemon in Sinnoh. The region should serve us very well in regard to all studies. Your studies, you say? Well, he is a professor, but not really sure on Dawn, to be honest. Just because I'm so used to her being a full-on trainer, like, in the, just in general for all the Pokemon adventures that Dawn has been in the actual, like, anime stuff. So, it is definitely a different role I'm not used to. I'm pretty sure Dawn would normally be the player character under normal circumstances, and I always forget what the kid's name is for the male player character. But I'm pretty sure he's actually supposed to be the actual assistant, though. But I guess it would make more sense with the mother character for this game as well, just to be completely honest. Excuse me, let us pass, please. Well, we kinda already moved for you, but sure. See you later.
Oh, I beg your pardon. We'll be on our way.
Okay, well, see you later. Well, what do you think's going on, Barry? What was that about? Those two. Good question, bud. Spooks, let's go check this out. Dots? I don't know what you mean by that one, bud. What's that? Don't go into tall grass. No problem. We won't be in there long enough for a wild Pokemon to come out, of course. Fair enough, I guess. Looks like they might have left something, though. Giant suitcase. It's briefcase. Those people forgot here. What are we supposed to do with it? We could try to return it, but who were they? I heard them say Professor. Well, they definitely did, and looks like you were wrong about the Pokemon thing. What? Pokemon? What's going on? Looks like you were standing in the grass too long, bud. But, a good thing there's some Pokeballs in here, right? You gotta love how the trope of Pokemon in these games are attained. Definitely is very similar in nature with every game. Sapphire and Ruby was a little Poochyena chasing the professor, where you would get your Pokeball and help him out. In this game, well, we're the ones getting attacked, aren't we? But still very similar situations, aren't they? Look, these are Pokeballs. Let's battle using Pokemon in them. Which one you want, then? Well, honestly... Oh, well, that one actually works. I was actually wanting to go... Definitely wouldn't go with Piplup, I think. One, because, well, Piplup was actually my second starter Pokemon in Pokemon ever. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that because I did say I played through Red and Blue first, so technically it would be third. But it was my second newest Pokemon game at the time. Because, obviously, it started with, just in general Sapphire and Ruby, and then if you were to count new games, it would definitely be Diamond and Pearl. But Piplup was indeed technically my first new starter. So, honestly, I might go with that just because of nostalgia's sake. But, will you choose Pokemon, Penguin Pokemon Piplup? Yes, I will. So, let's go and grab our little Piplup, and let's get right on into our giant story here, because now we're officially starting, aren't we? And here we go. A little Starly to start off our adventure, though. Honestly, pretty easy Pokemon to start off with, just because Starly is definitely not a hard Pokemon to fight. If you were playing with the Turtwig, it would definitely be a different story. But I don't think Starly gets any flying type moves until like level 5, I think, if I remember correct. So I think you're completely safe here no matter what. Unless you miss every single attack, obviously, but I think that's pretty hard to do. But sorry Starly, but this is for attacking me, bud. So we'll take ourselves some free experience. And, well, there we go. Our first battle won. Wow, your Piplup totally rocked. But my Turtwig was way tougher than yours. They were other people's Pokemon, right? But we had to use them. Those people won't mind, will they? Good question. Hey Don, long time no see.
Oh, there's a briefcase. The professor would be so furious if I had lost it.
Oh, hi. Nothing happened here. Totally nothing.
Huh? Oh no. Did he use a Pokemon that were in there? You did? Oh my gosh. What is the professor going to say? This is so not good. I'll take this briefcase for now.
Well, you didn't take the Pokemon back, so I guess we get to keep them. Thanks. What was that even about? Good question, Barry. I don't know what's going on, Spooks. Let's get out of here. My Pokemon got hurt from the battle. If we get attacked by another Pokemon, we might be in trouble. Probably not. We barely took any damage, but I don't know what level your Starly was, to be completely fair. But, yeah, that seemed pretty easy. You go ahead. I know we have to return these Pokemon. They're not really ours. but I want to spend a little more time with this guy. Don't blame me, buddy. Honestly, I'm curious, because I'm pretty sure we can actually talk to you if, there we go. I don't know why I couldn't get him to turn around just a slight bit, but there we go. We don't have any choice in using those people's Pokemon, right? But these Pokemon belong to them. They'll want them back, won't they? Yeah, definitely, I would think. But this is the first Pokemon I've ever battled with. Sorry, bud. But at least we can try to return it, right? That is a definite fair thing we can do. Hey, it's those people. Is that old guy staring at us? Yep, he definitely is. I heard from Dawn that you used our Pokemon. Let me see them, please. Piplup and Turtwig. I see. That's how it is. Dawn, I'm going back to my lab. Oh, and there he's off. Huh, guess it doesn't matter. Thanks, Professor.
Okay, Professor. Please wait for me. I think you should visit our lab later. Okay, see ya.
See you later, Dawn. Well, looks like we get to keep her Pokemon Berry. What was all that craziness about? I mean, if he was angry, he could have just yelled at us or whatever. And didn't he want us his Pokemon back? Spooks. We should go home too. Yeah, I guess so. Well, it looks like Rowan definitely doesn't mind us having the Pokemon. Makes sense. He is a professor after all. But I would be curious if there ever will be a Pokemon game where the professor didn't want you to have a Pokemon, because I don't think that's ever going to happen, but it is definitely interesting for thoughts. Just food for thought in general, because it is something I always wonder about.
What's up, dear? Wow, I can't believe that happened to you. Am I ever glad that both you and Barry are unharmed? The professor you mentioned is most likely Professor Rowan, of Sandgemtown.
Sandgemtown, you say?
I've heard that he is well known for his studies of Pokemon. I hear he's also quite intimidating.
Not really. He looks kind of like, toughish, but he seems pretty friendly, for the most part.
Spooks, I think you need to visit him in Sandgemtown. You need to properly explain why you had no choice but to use his Pokemon. Don't worry, I'm sure he will understand.
I think he already kind of understands it already. He didn't ask for him back, which is interesting. But it would make a lot of sense for us to keep them, just because the professors are kind of, that's their whole point, is they give out Pokemon. So, would make a lot of sense. But, I guess so. It would be good to at least go see him.
Oh, I know, Spooks. Put these on.
You received a pair of running shoes.
Going to Sandgemtown is like an adventure in itself, right? With those running shoes, you need to faraway places much faster. Okay, let me read the instructions.
And I'm just gonna read this normally. Toe the left stick firmly and dash about faster than ever before. Put on the running shoes and blaze new trails. I don't know why I said trials. Blaze new trails on the venture.
Well, isn't that just nifty?
I guess it is. And, thanks for breaking the fourth wall. But yeah, definitely. One cool thing is I definitely like the fact that you don't have to hold the B button to run around in this game. So it's definitely pretty nice to have the option to run around like that. In 1 second, I'm actually quite curious. Maybe we should check on Barry, just because it would be good to see if he is home before we start running off, right? Or at least talk to his mom. Oh, you become friends with Pokemon too. Yep, and I guess that's all you got for us. And it looks like, yep, Barry definitely ran off without us, so looks like we're definitely going to be chasing after him. So, let's go make our way back to Route 201, and prepare for our real journey. Also, I like how you start in 201, because the thing is usually you start in Route 1 in a lot of these games. So starting out in a pretty high route is actually quite interesting. Definitely gotta mention that, just because it is definitely something that, honestly, is not quite normal. It's just definitely interesting for me. just because, you think you start somewhere else and you start in a much later portion, or earlier portion of the game. But technically, we're in a technically later route anyway, just because of the fact that, usually you don't see Route 200 until, like, the end of the game in most of these games. So, definitely something to note just in general. It's something just because it came up to my mind to mention, because it is interesting, isn't it? Just because that's not usually the case. The trainer's tips. Don't be shy, talk to anyone and everyone you happen to see. By talking to people, you will get invaluable information and advice. Sometimes. If you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, but sometimes that isn't always the case. If your Pokemon's health or its HP is getting low, you should go home and get some rest. Definitely good information to know if you're new to Pokemon, for sure. And just because I have a feeling, yep. Oh no, you're not. I thought you were going to fight me for a second. Hi, I work at the Pokemart. Did you know that Pokemon's health is measured by hit points, HP for shorts? When Pokemon runs out of HP, it faints, and can't battle anymore. If a Pokemon's HP gets low, you should heal it with a potion. Here, let me give you some potions as a sample. These ones are free. They will automatically go into your bag's medicine pocket. You obtained potions, and I'm guessing that's how you actually get your free potions. Huh. Even that's been changed. That's kind of interesting. I don't remember if that's how it was in the original. But that's definitely funny because I'm so used to grabbing potions from the PC, and you get some to use for your first fight. But in this game, you get them differently, which is quite interesting, just because it's something I'm not used to. But already to see in Gemtown, honestly, that was quite fast. That ledge is on one way. Jump down for a shortcut to Twin Leaf Town. Oh, thanks, buddy. Thought you were a trainer for a second, to be honest. Just because some of these guys were positioned quite interestingly, I'll definitely say that.
Oh, there you are. Please come with me. The professor is waiting.
Okay, well, let's follow Dawn right into the professor's laboratory, I guess you could say. Or research lab. That's another way of saying it.
Oh, this is it. Our Pokemon research lab. Let's go.
Okay, oh, and talking about trying to find Barry, I guess he already beat us here. What the? Oh, it's you, Spooks. That old guy, he's not scary, so much as he's totally out there. It doesn't matter, Spooks. I'm out of here. See you later. Okay, well, see you later, Barry. Definitely a strange one, isn't he?
Wow, what was that? Your friend sure seems to be really impatient. Well, anyways, let's go inside.
Okay, well, let's go see what Professor Rowan wants. Based on Barry's reaction, definitely seems like it's good news. Not anything bad, that's for sure. Finally you've come, Spooks, was it? Let me see that Pokemon again. I see. This Pokemon seems to be rather happy. Alrighty then, I'll give that Piplup to you as a gift. Now that it is yours, would you like to give it a nickname? Sure. Obviously, I'm definitely going to give him a nickname. And honestly, I think I already have one. This was literally completely in my brain right now. And honestly, I'm quite surprised I already came up with a name for him. I'm going to call you Weston. And that's mostly because he kind of reminds me of one of my friends, for one. And you'll know who he is. But, honestly, I feel like it's a pretty decent name for, a, fancy little, penguin Pokemon. And penguins always definitely look like they're wearing their suits in general, so I think it would work for, kind of like a fancier name for a penguin, honestly. So, Weston, welcome to the team, buddy. Okay, I see. And you're happy with that nickname, of course. Yep, I am. Your friend Barry told me what happened at the lake. I heard you battled very well, despite it being your first time. And from what I can see, there is growing bond between you and that Pokemon, though it is still very young. That's why I would like to entrust you with Piplup. Oh, thanks, Rowan.
I'm so glad that you're kind towards Pokemon. If you weren't, I'd have to... Oh, I just can't see it.
Okay then. Kinda interesting from you, Don, but makes sense. Let's move on to the main topic. there is something I want you to do for me. My name is Rowan. I study Pokémon. First of all, I want to know exactly what kinds of Pokémon live in the Sinnoh region. To do so, it is necessary to collect data using the Pokédex. Wouldn't you already know all the Pokémon here? Apparently, at least since you moved away 4 years ago. So, if you're a professor and you've been here for so long, wouldn't you kind of already know that? Technically yes and no, I would guess, because all the professors ask that, but it's still interesting though. This is what I wish to ask of you. I want to entrust you with this Pokédex. Will you use it to record data on all the Pokémon in Sinnoh for me? Sure, we can do that. Good answer. You obtain a Pokédex. Oh, thanks, Rowan. That Pokédex is a very high-tech device. It will automatically record data on every kind of Pokémon you encounter. Spooks, I ask of you to go everywhere and meet every kind of Pokémon in this region. We can definitely try.
I've got one too.
When you walked up to Route 201 with your Pokémon, what did you feel? I've lived for 60 long years, even now. I get a thrill when I'm with a Pokémon. Now you should know that there are countless Pokémon in this world. It means that there are just as many thrills waiting for you out there. Now go, Spooks, your grand adventure begins right now. Okay, thanks Rowan, and honestly, I'm quite excited to finally start that grand adventure, as you said.
The Pokemon that I used for the first time was Chimchar. If you would have chosen Chimchar the Lake, we'd have the same Pokemon now.
Yeah, highly doubt that one.
Not that it matters, but anyways, I'm done. I also helped the professor and add pages to the Pokédex. So in a sense, I'm just like you. I just got a little head start on you, that's all.
Well, makes sense.
I'll be happy to teach you things. Glad to meet you, Spooks.
Glad to meet you indeed. But honestly, yeah, that definitely is kind of funny, because I think normally Barry would choose the one that's super effective to you, and I think Dawn chooses the weak one to you, normally, because I'm pretty sure that's normal. Oh, no, wait, no. No, wait, actually, why did I say that? Because, no, it is actually that way in this game. I'm so used to your rival choosing the weak one against you. Actually, Barry did stay true to his nature, which he actually chose Turtwig. I'm usually used to choosing, like, Chimchar or something, because obviously, I change it every now and then when I would play Diamond and Pearl back in the day. But honestly, yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Just because I'm so used to them choosing the stronger one against you back in the old days, and then them choosing the weaker ones nowadays for you. So it's actually quite interesting, so that they actually have the rival how it's supposed to, which is actually kind of cool. I hope they actually bring it back like that, because I do think having a little bit of a person that's actually able to fight against you is actually a good thing. But honestly, with the fact that they have two rivals in most of these games nowadays, like Dawn and Barry in this game, I think it's also a good thing as well, because you're going to fight against both of them anyways. So, definitely interesting though.
Okay, Spooks, I'll act as your mentor. I've got a bit more experience than you as a trainer, and as a professor's assistant. Okay, follow me.
Okay, we'll follow you indeed. I'm guessing, yep, we're going to be learning about Pokemarts. Okay, well I definitely know this information, but for anybody that doesn't know, we'll definitely read through it, obviously. There's no reason not to, it's dialogue. So, I'm just going to be honest, obviously I know what I'm doing with this stuff.
This building with the red roof is a Pokemon Center. It's the place that heals Pokemon that have been hurt in battle. You can find a Pokemon Center in most towns.
And quote on most towns, that is definitely the truth.
The building with the blue roof over here is a Pokemart. It's a shop where you can buy and sell items and medicine. Spooks, since you're a novice trainer, you won't be able to buy many kinds of merchandise. Don't let it bother you though.
True. Definitely don't need to bother about it, since it doesn't really matter yet. Once we get further in the game, then it's going to be more of an important thing for us to do. But for the time being, it's not going to be that important. Obviously, we'll buy some Pokeballs and try and catch a Pokemon, but honestly, for the most part, it's all we really need to worry about at the moment.
Oh, that's right, Spooks. Don't you need to let your family know you're going to be helping Professor Rowan? With that Pokédex rights, you need to travel pretty far, so I think you should let somebody know. But before you go, heal up your Pokemon at the Pokemon Center. It'll be a lot less scary that way. Okay, bye now.
See you later, Don. Honestly surprised you didn't show us how to catch a Pokemon, which is honestly something I kinda expected from that, just to be honest. But one thing about that is them telling us about the red and the blue, like, Pokemon and just in general for the Pokemon Center, for the roofs, is something that you don't really see nowadays. Because the Pokemon Center is basically the Pokemart nowadays in these games. So it is definitely interesting. And also, we have a lot of money to start with. We can buy 40 Pokeballs for starting, which is quite interesting. Definitely will say that one. But let's definitely start with a decent amount. We can get a free Premier Ball, so 11 for that. And honestly, we have a decent amount of potions already. But how much is for... Because I kind of want to get at least 10 more. I think that's a decent start. Because the thing is, we can still use these potions even later into the game. So it's good to start with a decent amount. And I think we'll start with 22 Pokeballs, technically. Just because that is a decent starting, I would think. Just in general. Obviously, we're not going to use every single Pokemon we catch, but it's definitely good to have a variety in case you run into something, you know, quite dangerous later into your adventure, right? And because we're quite good on, well, you know what, we'll go on the Pokemon Center, just for people to know what it looks like. Because, honestly, all the Pokemon Centers are different in some of these games. And, honestly, this is definitely quite nostalgic with the way of going up the escalator and down the escalator to do two different separate things. Which is something, honestly, we haven't seen in a long time. Just because I'm so used to the, you know, the newer variety of Pokemon Centers from the newer games. So it's definitely quite nostalgic to have just your normal everyday Pokemon Center. So, honestly, just in general, pretty nice to see. And as we can see, we got quite a giant map for this game. And honestly, we'll definitely start getting into that very, very soon. But, obviously, with the fact that it is the very first episode of our story, well, we gotta get through the basics first, and that's quite important. So, with what Don had said, we should go back to our house, since it's very, very important to do so. So, let's go head back and go see our mom real quick, let her know we're officially heading out on our adventure, since it is definitely a big part of our story. So, let's do this.
Welcome home, Spooks. Are you and your Pokemon healthy? I just made dinner. Take a quick rest here.
And look at that, we didn't even need to heal our Pokemon, because the game technically got us for us. Technically.
What's up, Spooks? Wow, Professor Rowan asked you to do something that big. Okay, dear, go for it. Your mom's got your back. Oh, I know, Spooks. I've got something that you'll find very useful.
You obtained the guidebook. Oh, guidebook, you say? You put the guidebook in your bag's key item pockets.
That's a guidebook. Take a look at it when you are curious about something or have questions. During your adventure, you may find an answer.
Okay, thanks.
A journey full of adventure. I envy you, kiddo. Plus, you're not alone. You have your Pokemon with you. I wish I could go instead.
Well, technically you could if you wanted to, because technically, honestly, she could just run off now that we're gone, if she really wanted to. I will be honest there, and do her own adventure, which would be kind of interesting for a Pokemon adventure. I'm actually surprised they haven't done that yet.
I'm just joking, Spooks. I'll be alright by myself, dear, so you go and enjoy your adventure. When you're exposed to new things and experience new sensations, it makes your mother happy too. But please come back sometimes. I would like to see the kinds of Pokemon you've caught, dear.
Okay, the guidebook. Useful information for your adventure will be added to this guidebook.
You can check it in your bag's key items pockets. I believe that's new. I don't think that's in the original game. Excuse me, is my little berry here?
Oh, looks like he didn't go back home.
Oh, no he's not. Oh, then he must have left already. What to do? That boy shouted about going on adventure, then he bolted.
Well, looks like he at least said something.
He's so headstrong and reckless. I at least wanted him to take this. Not to worry. Spooks will deliver that to him.
True, we can definitely do that. He is our friend after all.
Won't we, Spooks?
Yeah, of course. No reason not to.
Oh really? You do that for me?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Spooks, please take this to Barry for me. Obtained a parcel.
Okay. Yeah, we can take Gary's parcel to Barry. Definitely, for sure. You put the parcel in your bag's key item pockets.
Bye-bye, Spooks. Enjoy your adventure.
Let me think. Knowing my boy, he would probably be heading straight to Jubilife City.
Okay. Please take this to my Barry.
Yeah, sure. Jubilife City, you say? Well, we already know where we're heading off to. And before we run off, let's at least say hi.
Bye-bye, Spooks. Enjoy your adventure.
Thanks. We'll definitely try.
Spooks. You're forgetting something important.
Something important, you say? Oh, yep, we're definitely missing our hat. There we go. Now we're ready. I almost forgot about his hat, to be honest.
Yes, that hat did always suit you well, Spooks. Now off you go.
Off you go indeed. Honestly, one cool thing that is in this game that isn't in the normal game is the fact that you can change your outfits, which is actually quite interesting. Just because in the original game, you had one set outfit and you couldn't change it all at all. But in this game, they have the Platinum version, as well as obviously the normal Diamond and Pearl versions, as well as like a bunch of new ones as well, which is actually quite interesting. Since usually you'd have a base costume for the whole game and you wouldn't be able to change it at all, so it's actually kind of interesting to have the costume feature from the newer games added into the old games, which is quite interesting, just because, honestly, they have been doing that in the, just for Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby and stuff like that, but I still find it interesting just because, it adds a lot of creativity when it comes to what you want your character to look like, and honestly, it's something that if the games were, they were to make those games nowadays, and these weren't remakes, they definitely would have that feature to begin with. So, I always do think about that just because it's definitely interesting. But level 6 for Weston, plus 2 HP, attack, 1 defense, special attack, 2 special defense, and 1 speed. Not bad. Pretty decent level. Got a stat for everything, which is pretty good, as well as getting Water Gun, which is definitely going to be good. Although not good when it comes to fighting Barry, because he does have Turtwig. But still good nonetheless. I'm actually quite curious, what kind of nature did we actually get? We got Bashful, which is a neutral 1, which is pretty good. Okay, so we have no negatives, which is really good. Usually we get the negative for, the Pokemon we use in some of these games. Even in the Fame games. So having a neutral starting is actually pretty nice, because now we're not working against ourselves when it comes to, abilities and stuff like that. Also, this guidebook, where is that hiding? Unless it's not... Oh no, it's definitely not there. So where is it hiding? Okay, here it is, the guidebook. So what does this actually do to us? Oh, it's pretty nice. There's a little manual for if anybody doesn't know what certain features do. Huh. That's actually kind of cool. Huh. And there's even, little sneak peeks at later stuff in the game, too. Huh. It's kind of interesting. Very interesting, actually. Huh. Okay, then. And with that being said, let's start making our way straight into Route 202, since, honestly, there's no reason not to, right? And it looks like we found Dawn again. Been waiting for us, I see.
Oh, that's right. Spooks, I haven't shown you how to catch a Pokemon yet, have I? I'll demonstrate how to catch one, so watch me, okay?
Okay, well, we can definitely watch. And I swear if we find a shiny Pokemon, because apparently that can happen with some of these, just catching guides in general, apparently they can actually find a shiny. It'd be kind of sad if it did happen to me in any of these games, but we actually have had shinies appear in our stories, so it wouldn't be that bad. Because the thing is I'm actually quite surprised it did happen in the first place, because the shiny Whimsicott we had in Xenoverse was definitely something that caught me off guard. And I probably should have paid attention to what Don just said there, but honestly, I already know how to throw Pokeballs and stuff like that. You just throw the bag, and then, you catch your Pokemon. But definitely wasn't prepared for her to say something, to be honest. But basically, now's the time to throw your Pokeball is pretty much what she probably said, to be completely honest. But just like that, super easy. Now to note that she has a Bidoof on her team. Okay, interesting. So now we know that she has a Chimchar and a Bidoof, because she's definitely going to use that. Just because that is what happens with Wally. I think it was his name back in Sapphire and Ruby. But he definitely used the Pokemon he caught, which was a Ralts. So, noted for later.
Oh, see, isn't it neat? Actually, it's better to lower your target HP more than I did.
True, very true. You want it to be reddish, and then you also want to use a status effect to make the best possible outcome to catching Pokemon.
It's important to get the Pokemon's HP down as low as possible. A healthy Pokemon is very difficult to catch. Oh, Pokemon always get easier to catch if you make them sleep or something, by using a Pokemon move. Okay, Spooks, to get yours started, I'll give you some Pokeballs.
You obtained some Pokeballs. Thanks. So now we have what we started with, what we bought, as well as some extra ones. Thanks. You got the Pokeball, or you put the Pokeballs in the bag's Pokeball pockets.
If you have lots of Pokemon with you, it'll be safer on long trips. Plus, it'll be a lot more fun having your Pokemon friends along. Okay, I need to get going now. Bye now.
Bye-bye indeed, Dom. We'll see you later, since we'll definitely be running into you again, and that's for sure. But, because I am quite curious, Kricketot. I actually quite like this Pokemon. Not many people do, but I actually quite like this Pokemon for other reasons of what it is, but the thing is I have a name in my head for Kricketot, but I might have to get a different version of it, just because the name wouldn't really work, to be completely honest. So, let's knock out this Kricketot, because we'll definitely run into another one. But, honestly, with the fact that, I do actually like Kricketot, I might actually use one, just because it would be a good starting for a second Pokemon. And if they did keep the upgraded bug-type moves in this game, like with the newer games, they actually made the bug-type stronger, it might actually be pretty good to use, because bug-types have been severely buffed compared to what they were in the old days. So, if it has Leech Life, and Leech Life is at like 60, it is definitely good to use a bug-type Pokemon. But the thing is it really upgraded in this game or not? Because I honestly don't know. So that's definitely something to note for later. You're a Pokemon trainer. I happen to be a Pokemon trainer as well. Our eyes met, so battle we must. Fair enough. Well, here comes our first official Pokemon fight, because now it's against an actual trainer. So here we go. Mr. Tristan sent out Starly. Oh, well, we know how to work against those things. And honestly, our little Kricketot, if we were to get one in the last fight, would definitely not work against this Pokemon. But, because we do have our Water-type attack, and oh, we got hit with a critical quite early as well, that is kind of scary. Definitely quite scary. I'm gonna play safe here because, it is possible to crit twice in a row. So, just in case, so we don't get one-shotted on our first Pokemon fight, I'm just gonna play it safe for a second, just because it is safer to do so. Let's see. No, he didn't go for a crit again. Could have been pretty bad though. But as I was saying, because we do have Water Gun, it's the same type attack boost for using the type of Pokemon that you are, and using the moves that are associated with it. Not many people know this, and I did not know about it when I was a little kid. Obviously, I learned it over the course of living and stuff like that. Obviously, I learned that kind of stuff. But it is definitely interesting with the fact that I always did use the Pokemon moves that were associated with my Pokemon, but I would always add like 4 types instead of status moves. I didn't use status moves when I was a little kid, but I always used the typing of the Pokemon, and then stuff that if I were to fight a Pokemon that he would be weak to, I would have associative moves to work against them. So technically I knew what I was doing when I was a little kid, it's just I didn't have it correctly mapped out in my head. And obviously I didn't know about IVs and just stuff like that, EVs and IVs, I didn't know any of that, but obviously I know about that now, since I did do a little bit of like competitive breeding for Pokemon for a bit. Just on my own, I didn't do it for other people, I just made my own Pokemon. But honestly, I've done quite a bit. I've gotten a lot of shinies through that, I've done quite a lot in Pokemon, so honestly, just going back into the game after a little bit of a break is honestly nice, just because it is definitely nostalgia every time I get into these games. The HP plus 2, attack 1, defense 1, special attack 2, special defense 1, and 1 speed. Not bad for level 7. I'll definitely take it. Lots of boost. Obviously we're gonna get a lot of them for every level, but definitely will come in handy. Too strong? Too strong. Yeah, sorry buddy. Not really too strong, more like, too weak of a Pokemon to fight with for a starting one, just because of the fact that, well, let's be honest here, we already fought Starly already. But trainer tips. The Pokemon that are involved in a battle can earn more XP than Pokemon on your team that are not involved in the battle. Normally, in the old days, that wouldn't be the case, because EXP share is now built into the game, but nowadays, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The more Pokemon on your you battle, the stronger they will become. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. True. Stronger the Pokemon you fight, the more XP you get. Makes sense, but sometimes it's based on the Pokemon you're fighting as well, like Chansey, or Blissey, or even just in general anything that's like an Audino would give you a lot more experience than just your average Pokemon. Especially on the level that the Pokemon is, too. I spy with my little eye. A trainer. A battle, please. Sure, we can definitely battle you. Well, what do you have, though? This is definitely a good question. Last Natalie? Yeah, Natalie. Bidoof. Oh. Well, it's easy. Of course, it's the first 2 Pokemon we see as our first 2 trainer fights, which is actually kind of interesting. But you have 2 Pokemon, though, so we should be careful, just in case. Normally, I wouldn't use a water gun on Bidoof, but because Bidoof it doesn't start as a water type, he does become one. We don't have to really worry about it until, obviously, we see the barrel. But definitely something we should note, just because some people might not know that. So, definitely get some free experience for taking out the Bidoof, and another Bidoof. Oh, okay. Well, we made our lives 10 times easier, using 2 of the same Pokemon, so not too hard to figure out, but definitely do still need to be careful because of random crits. Because we are using 1 Pokemon at the moment. If we had 2, then it would be safer, but because of the fact that we are working with 1 Pokemon, we do need to be a little bit careful at our starts, because everything's going to be on the same level as us for a little bit until we get further in, obviously. Oh boo, I can't win. Probably could win, you just picked the wrong fight. Sorry, bud. You got 348 for winning. Not bad. Pretty decent amounts for wins for the current moment. But as long as we build up over the course, we'll definitely be able to get better items the further and further it gets. And hopefully... And there we go. Okay, now we have a Kricketot that I want to catch. Because the name that I have in my head for a Kricketot would definitely work better for a male version. And the reason is because I'm kind of thinking Mozart, honestly. So let's definitely go with that. Just because, honestly, I think it works. Just because it is a music-based Pokemon, and honestly, I feel like it's kind of a decent name. So, you know what? Welcome to the team, Mozart. But there we go. We got ourselves a Kricketot to start off with. And honestly, the fact that we just caught a new Pokemon, we also get its Pokedex entry. So, let's read it out. Number 15, Kricketots. The Cricket Pokemon. Type Bug. About 1 foot tall. Weight, 4.9 pounds. It shakes its head back and to the front, causing its antenna to hit each other and sound like a xylophone. Huh, interesting. But there we go, we got ourselves a Kricketot. Like I said, I want to name them Mozarts specifically. So, honestly, shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, definitely that works better with the fact that, male. Because I don't think that name would really work as well. Because, Mozart is a person. So, we want to base it off him specifically. So, this would definitely work a little bit better for us. So, there we go. Good old Mozart has now joined the party. And honestly, now that we have 2 Pokemon, I feel a little bit more safer too. Let's have a Pokemon battle. Humph. But I'm gonna win. Sure. You can definitely try, bud, but I'll be honest, it's not gonna be that easy. Just because you said you're gonna win doesn't mean that you're gonna win. But you got a Shinx though. And that's an interesting Pokemon because of the fact that Weston is a water type. And although you're using Intimidate, that could be a problem if we were not a special attacker at the current moment because we're using Water Gun. The thing is, Weston is actually a physical attacker. It's just that, obviously, we don't have any real physical type attacks that we're needing to worry about at the current moment. Because, obviously, all we got is Water Gun when it comes to our moves. But a Shinx is definitely an interesting Pokemon. It is actually a Pokemon I would use, to be completely honest. But the thing is I think people use Shinx quite a lot, so I want to mix it up a little bit. I don't think I'll use Shinx, but it would be something I would normally use, I think, just to be honest. But HP plus 3 is actually really nice, and then pretty much everything else is 1. Not bad. Level 8 for Weston, as well as a little bit of experience for a good old Mozart. And the thing is with Kricketot, because he's a bug type, he'll actually level up a lot faster. So we'll definitely have a Kricketune very, very soon, because of him being a bug type. You're like, wow. Well, thanks. And 380 for winning. Not bad. Still a decent amount of money gain, just in general. And obviously, because we are, starting off our adventure, obviously it's gonna be pretty slow of a burn. By the next episode, we'll be getting straight into the main adventure. But obviously we gotta go through the basics, because all these Pokemon games like to throw you through the basics first. And then they throw you out and let you do what you want to do. But with the fact that, every Pokemon game has its starting area, obviously it will be us learning the basics and the ropes until the next episode. So, might as well learn what we can, even though I already know some of the stuff. Some Pokemon only appear in the morning, some only come out at night. I'm going to be, keep waiting here, till I've seen every last one of them. And that is very true. I believe Shinx appears at night. Okay then. I'm trying to think of what, it's Bidoof and Kricketot, isn't it? So, good thing we're playing this at nighttime, because I would have completely forgot to catch a Kricketot, to be honest. And we have a female Shinx. Honestly, I'm trying to think of a decent name for Shinx. But honestly, at the same time, I don't think I have a name for you. But might as well have you for the time being. Even though we're not going to keep the Shinx on the team. Obviously, like I said, I want to swap it up, because I know a lot of people do use Shinx in Luxray and stuff like that. So it would be better to, differentiate our team than your normal team. Already, the Kricketot's already something you normally don't see, so we definitely already have a difference. But 2 HP, 1 attack, everything else is 1. Decent level. But I'll definitely take what we can get. But Shinx, the Flash Pokemon. Electric. Height, 1 foot and 8 inches. 20.9 pounds. All of its fuzz dazzles if danger is sensed. It flees while the foe is momentarily blinded. Kinda like a Flash. Interesting. Definitely interesting. The thing is I really don't have a name for you. But I think I could come up with something. I think I'll name you Nala. I think that's a decent name. Just because you are technically a lion cub in a way. So, I guess that would be a decent name, I would think. Honestly, I'm coming up with that name on the fly. Normally, I'd have more time to think about a name like that, but honestly, I had nothing else pump up in my head, to be honest. The Jubilee City is right ahead. And there we are, already to where we were told that we should be able to find Barry. So we should keep an eye out for him.
Hi, Spooks. Are you catching Pokemon? I think you'd feel a lot safer if you were to catch some more. In Jubilee City, there's trainer schools, which is, well, you know. Spooks, you should visit us. You'll get some tips on Pokemon. Oh yeah, Barry went to the trainer school earlier too. Okay, bye now.
Okay, well, see you later, Don. So they said to go to the trainer school, and actually we can see, yep, head over to the trainer school. So the game actually does give you hints, which is something you didn't get in the original, since, I think I was actually lost in the original game, to be honest, when I first played this all the way back when I was like a little kid. I think it was this, like, late game. I'm not going to say exactly what it is. Well, if we run into it, I'll talk about it, but I don't want to spoil anything. Almost did, though. But, yeah, definitely, there is a point that I did get lost at as a little kid, and I think I ended up finding out what it was, but it was after searching it up, obviously, which was not easy back in the day, just because I think, I ended up getting the information from one of the guidebooks and not from an actual, like, website or anything like that. So, yeah, definitely do have to mention that, just because this game was kind of hard as a little kid, just to be completely honest, just because I wasn't fully paying attention to the dialogue, and if you're not doing that as a little kid, you're not going to know what to do sometimes in these games, and sometimes it happens, but obviously that's not going to happen to us, because it should be pretty well safe, just because of the fact that the game has a notable thing that says where to go, so that shouldn't happen. But it is something to note, because it is actually kind of good for them to do so. But Jubilee City, City of Joy, definitely for sure there. Where's this trainer school that we were told to go to? And before we go any further, we should probably save. But I think we'll do the trainer school in today's episode, because I think that's the end of the tutorial for this game. And then we'll end off the episode after this trainer school. And then we'll begin, obviously, after, you know, in the next episode after we're done with the tutorial game, because that's when things will definitely start, you know, speeding up a little bit. Trainer school, the first step for trainers. True there, indeed. Very true. But, honestly, not the hardest thing for us. But it looks like we already found Barry. Hey, Spooks, did you come to study too? I went ahead and memorized everything that was up on the blackboard. After all, it's trainer's job to avoid having the precious Pokemon hurt in battle, right? True. So, Spooks, what brings you here? You got something for me. Yep, we do. Here's your parcel, buddy. So, what even is this? Score, it's a town map. Why are there two here? I like it a lot, but I don't need two. Here, Spooks, take one. Looks like one of them was intended for us already, but yeah, we'll take it. You obtained a town map. Well, according to the town map, yes, Oreburg City is where I should go next. There's a gym, so it'd be perfect for raising Pokemon I've just caught. Well, I'm on the road to becoming the greatest Pokemon trainer of all time. See you around, buddy. See you around indeed, Barry. We'll see you very, very soon. Obviously next episode, but definitely, you know, just in general, we'll definitely see you very soon for sure, bud. I wrote an essay in my notebook on what makes a true Pokemon trainer. Okay. Pokemon are smart enough to use items they're holding. Very true, that is something they can do. But they won't know what to do with it. Human-made items like potions and antidotes. Yeah, usually it's only berries that Pokemon eat right away. Like citrus berries is one of the better ones, but there's also stat boosting berries that they eat as well. But they only seem to eat it when they lose HP, like about half HP, which is kind of interesting. I don't know why that's the case, but it is interesting to note. It's a notebook filled with writing. Let's see. Pokemon are to be caught using Pokeballs. Up to 6 Pokemon can accompany a trainer. A trainer is someone who catches Pokemon and raises them in battles with them. The trainer's mission is to defeat the strong trainers who await challengers in Pokemon gyms. Interesting little notebook here, bud. Let's see what you are going on with, because you're definitely an ace trainer. You just became a trainer, did you? You should look up the topics that you're not familiar with. Okay, well, let's see what Barry was reading. The blackboard lists status changes that may affect Pokemon in battle. Which status would you like to read about? Let's see if it says it straight up or not. Okay, it does say it straight up, so I'll just say what they are. So, obviously, I'll just say what you need. Poison is, obviously, you're poisoned. You'll take poison damage every turn, and the further the turn order is, the more damage you take. And it can be very, very dangerous the longer your Pokemon is poisoned, because it'll definitely be going down over the course of a couple turns. Paralysis is obviously you're paralyzed. You can lose your turn, it's not 100%. It's about 50-50, it's a roll of a dice, and if you are paralyzed during your turn, you lose your turn. Sleep status is kind of a toss-up. You're asleep, and sometimes, depending on the Pokemon, if you have like Sleep Talk, you can still use moves. But for the most part, you lose your turn unless your Pokemon wakes up. And sometimes it's a good thing, because sometimes you use rest and you get sleep status, and obviously you get your full HP back. But sometimes it isn't the case, and obviously you lose a couple turns. Burn status is, if you're a physical attacker, you lose half your attack status, and you also are burned, and you lose a little bit of HP every turn. So really bad against physical attackers if you are burned, but some Pokemon actually thrive off of it, because sometimes they get double the attack, depending on their ability. Frozen status, same as paralysis and sleep. You lose your turn unless you get thawed out. If you're hit with a fire-type move, you'll get thawed out instantly, so there is a workaround to it. But for the most part, frozen status is really hard to break out of, unlike sleep, and obviously you can break out of paralysis, but it's still really hard to break out of a frozen status. It don't happen often, but it definitely is something you need to be wary about. But that's all our statuses. But definitely a lot of those you do need to be very careful with, just in general, for anybody that doesn't know about those, because honestly, I did not know about the burn status a long time ago, that a physical attacker loses half their HP, or not HP, half their attack stat, which is definitely not something you would know right away, but it is the case. But let's finish off our trainer school, since it looks like we have some trainers over here. Battling is the best way to learn. Can we get a battle with you? Sure, I don't mind. Go, my Pokemon, go. Okay, so what are you holding on to? Because you might actually have something kind of interesting. So let's see, you can one Pokemon, as well as we got the little backdrop of a little trainer school, which is kind of cool. But we got ourselves an Abra. Abra. Huh. That's an interesting Pokemon. Well, because of the fact... well, we don't have any Bug-type moves, never mind. I was going to say because it's a Psychic-type Pokemon and we do have a Bug-type, it would be good to use Kricketot/Mozart, but because we don't actually have that, that's actually not that good. And that's actually kind of scary because Charge Beam is super effective to us. So, this is actually a harder fight than it normally would be, just because Charge Beam and Water types do not work together very often, and you're actually going to get rid of us quite easy, and you're continuously getting more special attack stats from us. But we did get you, somehow. I don't know how. Did we get a crit there? Because it's the only way I'm saying we won that. But jeez, that was close. We almost actually got Weston down, which is kind of bad. If that actually did go through. Level 5 for Nala and Mozart, not bad. It's a decent amount of HP, but not much for stats. But, oh, Nala actually got some decent stuff. 3 HP and everything else won. Not bad. But, yeah, that Mozart stat was definitely not as good as it could have been. But with Stab, that's how it is then. Yep, sorry buddy, $408 for winning, and we'll be definitely taking that for later. It's hard to win if you don't have some Pokemon to choose from. True. Let's go on with your little buddy here. I just became friends with my Pokemon. I'm not sure if I can do this properly, but maybe battle. Sure, I don't mind. I need to try things I learned before I forget them. Okay, so what are you using? Because I'm actually kind of interested to see what you have, because he had an Abra. That's kind of a... oh, you have Abra too. Please don't have Charge Beam again, because that can actually be kind of scary. Because I was actually prepared for, you know, your average charge. Oh no, nope. Okay, I was gonna say teleport, but I was like, you know, is it gonna use Charge Beam? Yeah, it used Charge Beam, which is not good for us whatsoever. But well, it's not the worst case scenario, because the thing is we have a electric type Pokemon, so it might not be too bad. But the thing is the more and more it charges up that Charge Beam, the more and more damage it's going to do, because of the fact that how those kind of stats work is now that it's done 2 of them, now it's going to do double damage, now that it has 2 of those in. So it keeps going up and keeps going up and keeps going up, to the point where it is literally going to be a lot harder to deal with the Pokemon. So we actually do need to be careful here. Hopefully we can get through with a paralysis, but the thing is we might actually lose this, because the Abra is not a Pokemon that's, you know, because of the Charge Beam, that is actually a dangerous move to put on early fighting Pokemon, with the fact that, you know, we started with Piplup. If we started with any other Pokemon, that wouldn't be too bad. But the thing is we took so much damage from the initial Pokemon for just in general when it came to the first Abra fight. I was expecting a different Pokemon, but no, they're both using Charge Beam Abra, which is actually terrifying, as you can see. The damage increases the more and more you have Charge Beam, so I don't mind losing because this is something interesting, because you don't normally see this, and I can explain it. Because, honestly, it's not something I would normally just let win, but because I am definitely interested in the fact that they show this, because it's something someone should know for Charge Beam and stuff like that, and just status boosting abilities. It's something you want to do. It's definitely something you want to do. But you have normal Pokemon that can fight, so you give $64 to the winner, and you were overwhelmed by your team. And you scurry back to the Pokemon Center, protecting your exhausted Pokemon from any further harm. And just like that, we actually lost. But because it doesn't bother me, because I made it into a learning experience for a reason. Obviously I would have healed my Pokemon, because Piplup took so much damage, but I was like, is it going to be an Abra again or not? I wasn't sure, and because it was a Charge Beam Abra, I got to explain that mechanic, because normally you don't just run into that. So that's definitely interesting for learning experience for anybody that doesn't know. But yeah, did not expect to see a Charge Beam Abra back to back like that, because normally you'd think that both of them would have different Pokemon based on the dialogue that she had. But with that being said, I'm going to end off today's episode. Never mind. I was not ready for somebody to run up to me, but okay, we'll go through this first. Oh, you are a Pokemon trainer, yes? But you don't have Pokécatch yet. Pokécatch. Pokécatch is short for Pokemon Watch. Okay. Oh my, you're a rare case indeed. You see, I invented and now manufacture Pokécatches. Not only that, I am now conducting the Pokécatch promotional campaign. All you have to do is find 3 clowns in Jubilee City. If you can find them, I'll give you your very own Pokécatch. Okay, yeah, we can do that real quick. So find some clowns. Okay, we found the first one. Hello, it. Nice to see you hiding outside of the good old sewers for a bit, bud. Hi. I'm a Pokécatch campaign clown. Let's roll out my question. Does Pokemon grow by defeating others and gaining experience points? Yeah, obviously. Ding ding, you're absolutely correct. Pokemon grow stronger by defeating other Pokemon's battle. Some Pokemon even change into different Pokemon through a process known as evolution. Here you go, your Pokécatch coupon. You obtained a coupon number 1. Oh, thanks. You put coupon number 1 in your keyring pocket. We'll definitely take it. But, oh, well, that was fast. Hi, I'm Pokécatch Campaign Clown. Let's roll out my question. Can a Pokemon hold an item? Well, obviously. Ding ding, you're absolutely correct. A Pokemon may hold a single item. Some items become effective as soon as they are held by a Pokemon. Berries are eaten by a Pokemon as necessary during battle. Here you go, your Pokécatch coupon. Thank you, Mr. Clown. But we found number 3 before number 2, which is quite interesting. Okay, I did not mean to talk to you again. But let's go find number 2. Since he shouldn't be too hard to find, I would think. So let's see here. I'm gonna guess maybe hiding over here. Oh no, it doesn't look like we can go over here. Just past here is the GWS, which stands for Global Wonder Station. Oh, you don't have any gym badges. The GWS is off limits. You haven't earned a gym badge yet. Sorry. GWS. I actually don't remember what that is. I'm actually quite curious what that is now, just because it's pulling blanks in my mind, and I don't know why. Huh. Weird. I'm actually quite curious what that is now. I kind of want to look it up after this episode, just because it is something that's coming into my mind. But here we go. Here's the last clown. Hi, I'm PokéCatch Campaign Clown. Let's roll out my final question. Just like Pokemon, do the moves of Pokemon also have types? Yep, they definitely do. There's a bunch of free yeses, so super easy answers. Ding ding, you're absolutely correct. If a Pokemon's type matches the type of a move it uses, the move is made much more powerful, also known as Staying-type attack boost. Here you go, your PokéCatch coupon. Thank you, buddy, for our final coupon. Now we can go get ourselves a PokéCatch, which, I'm trying to remember. Oh, that was the bottom screen in the original game, I think. Which I actually didn't even know was a watch, to be honest. But it does tell time, so I guess it technically would be. Okay, let me count your coupons. I'll just pull out my PokéCatch here, and 1, 2, 3, bravo. I say bravo. In return for these coupons, I present you with a Pokemon Watch, or PokéCatch for short. You received a PokéCatch. Thank you, buddy. Thanks. You can add apps to your PokéCatch to make it even more versatile. Please press R button to try it out. The PokéCatch. Press R button to open the PokéCatch, control it by using the touchscreen, and hold down the R button to close it as well. Okay, and because this game is, well, you can play it as a touchscreen device or you can play it as normal, looks like we have another way of using it, which is kind of interesting. So we can full screen it and actually make it a touchscreen anyway, which is quite interesting. Not the actual time, if you guys are usually, wait, no, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's actually telling the actual time. As well as a calculator, which is kind of interesting. The step meter. And then, obviously, our status for Pokemon, which is kind of cool. Normally, this would be on the bottom screen in the original. But definitely interesting, nonetheless. But it looks like we can hold it completely out of the touch of our screen, which is kind of cool. Or have it up for a little bit of a timer, which is kind of nice. But with that being said, that's where we're going to end off today's episode. With the tutorial all over and done with, we're now officially starting our true journey. And with that being said, we're going to be heading towards Oreburgh City, I believe. Let me make sure the name of that, because I could have said that a little bit wrong. No, Oreburgh City. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely heading over there, which should be our very first gym leader, which I believe is a rock type, if I remember correctly in this game. But with that being said, thank you all for watching today's episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Keep being spooky, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.
Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.